Greetings from the TPX booth here at the Channel Partners Expo in Las Vegas. Very exciting place, very exciting time. There's a lot of new things that are coming up, and we wanted to grab Mr. David Hagan of TPX. David, thank you for giving us 2 minutes.
Sure.
We wanted to pick your brain. As you know, that there's a lot of disruptive technologies that are coming up that are changing the landscape, particularly around cybersecurity. We wanted to get your take on it.
It's very interesting, and we're a managed service provider. We have a lot of cybersecurity options to help protect companies, and what we're looking at disruptive-wise, there's a lot of stuff going on around artificial intelligence, right? And so everybody's worried about how that can help or how they can bake that into their product set to do a better job of securing systems for their companies. And at TPX, we're taking a little bit of the approach that some of the basic conceptual, simple things just need to be done. Protecting, everybody's laptops, protecting through the firewalls to make sure that everything is locked down the best that we can. Cybersecurity training, security awareness training is big. The more that people know what not to click on and what not to do is better. The more that you're able to actually look at those emails through artificial intelligence and maybe detect something that's socially engineering to help prevent people from clicking on those things. Those little things, those base hits, if you will, are really going to help protect the environment. Identity, knowing who the identity of people are getting into your systems is number one, and preventing people from getting into your systems that should not be allowed to get into your system. That's what we're looking at for the most part for protecting people. In the broader scope, everybody's trying to protect their wide area networks. They're trying to protect their cloud environments. We're wanting to make sure that you're having protected virtual private networks, that every traffic lane is secure and protected. So the less options for the bad guys to get into your environment is what we're all after. But sometimes it's a simple thing. So even though artificial intelligence is there to be looked at, I'm thinking one of the things is some of the basics. Security awareness training, protecting your laptops, your servers, patching everything up to date, making sure that you don't have administrative rights given to people on your computers.
Exactly.
The harder it is for people to log into your computers, the better it is to protect your environment.
That's great. Now, that's a lot of good information. I want to pick one particular point that you mentioned, that the email. Now, majority of the ransomware, the mole usually gets through the email. They get through somebody's email, and you click on it, and that's a big problem. They spoof it so well, it looks like it's coming from somebody in the inside, right?
Absolutely.
So the music to my ear is you're now implementing artificial intelligence, scanning those emails. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that helps. The less email that gets into somebody's mailbox, so whatever tools you're using to have your email scanned and filtered, the less it gets into the mailbox, the less opportunity people have to cause problems in your environment. So if you just take it from that user, the user's known as the weakest link.
Yeah.
We like to think that we can take those users that are the weakest link and turn them into somebody that's helping defend everything.
Right.
So the more aware users are, the more they have the ability to look at an email and maybe say, you know what, I'm not sure if this is good, bad, or not, and they can submit it to be reviewed. If that email gets reviewed and finds out it has malicious content, and we remove it from their email box, we also remove it from everyone else in the company. So things like that make and empower a user, our normal weakest link, to become part of the cybersecurity strategy. So that's a good thing to do. So we want to enable those weakest links to become part of the program, and we want to make sure that we shut all of the doors to allow the bad guys in.
In other words, you offer a full 360 protection around a customer's infrastructure.
Yeah, we do. When we protect their endpoints and their servers, and we have their firewalls, and then having the ability to restore in case of an event, to go back in time and restore any file or anything maybe before a ransomware attack was to hit. Yeah, those are important things. The ability to detect a ransomware attack, if you're actually looking and you can see that files are getting encrypted rapidly, and shut that down. These are things that we can do to help our customers be better protected.
One last thing I'm going to ask you. So with your service in place, customers are now eligible to get cyber insurance, cybersecurity insurance.
Yeah, one of the things that we've seen with cybersecurity insurance, it used to be just a few short years ago that there was a checklist of maybe 10 items that they had to, are you doing this? Do you have cybersecurity awareness training? Are you patching your computers? They're simple questions, and most people lied on them, and they could get their policies. Now the insurance underwriting has stiffened everything up. That 10 questions is now 10 pages of questions. To get a good cybersecurity insurance policy, not only are you going to be able to have a lot of the protected services that we put in place for companies, but you're also going to have to do vulnerability scans. And we can do those for companies as well. We do gap assessments, vulnerability scans.
Full penetration tests.
Penetration tests. All these things need to be done to see where a company's at so that we can then rectify and make improvements. And all that needs to be documented for lots of governmental compliance issues.
Sure.
You know.
David, thank you very much. This is really great information. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in.